edition of Bet. I am Tyler Fulghum, and that lady in red right there is Erin Dolan making her Bet debut, her ESPN debut today. Some of you may have already seen her on Daily Wager, which concluded about 30 minutes ago on ESPN2. Erin, you crushed it. You like to have a little bit of fun here on Bet, so are you ready to dive in and do the damn thing?
Yes, I am. I'm so excited to be a part of the ESPN team. Daily Wager was great. Now we have Bet. We can show a little bit more personality. So I'm so excited to be a part of the team and, make some more picks.
Well, let's do the damn thing. As we said, we kicked Joe Fortenbaugh out on Thursday. His kids will be happy about that. But I think he'd rather be here making bets than having his, 4-year-old kick him in the shins to go outside or dress as Macho Man Randy Savage. I hear the 2-year-old won't go to bed unless he dresses like Macho Man Randy Savage. So Dad's got to put that costume on every single night, which I'm sure is doing wonders for the love life of Joe Fortenbaugh. All right, the first game we're going to play here on Bet, Erin, is called The Good Word. Now, what I am going to do is read a statement, and then you just give me and the viewers one word that is your reaction to that statement. So pretty simple game here. Let's get it started in the association. We're going to see this team play tonight, and we'll talk about their matchup a little bit later. The Phoenix Suns are now 9-1 to win the NBA title.
Plausible. Meaning this is something that could be doable, but we have to keep something in mind. The Suns did go to the NBA Finals, and they lost. They played really far into the season. They won all of November. That is amazing. That's a great, awesome accomplishment, but that doesn't matter in terms of winning the NBA title this year. And unfortunately, what I think is going to happen is the health and availability and all these things are going to end up creeping up on them, just like we saw Devin Booker go out against the Warriors with that hamstring injury. Eventually, these players are going to be so overworked. I'm happy for them that they're winning. I think the odds should keep moving down in favor of the Suns, considering they just won 17 straight. There's no way the books can just move a line up in that case. So for me, I'm just going to go with plausible, but definitely I'm not 100% the Suns are actually going to win the NBA title.
Well, they did go to the finals a year ago, and they look just as good, if not better, this year. Now, just a peek behind the curtains here, Erin, I have already screwed up tremendously because I was supposed to bring out the tablet in which I was supposed to write the words that you and I say for the production purposes of this show. So I don't know if you hear our producer, Weimer, right now, mother you-know-whatting me in my ear for forgetting the tablet. So just ignore that. It's my fault. Point guard, the quarterback, will take the blame here. You did fine. Love the word plausible there. I will back it up with the word tan. Now, hear me out. T-A-N, like I'm going to the tanning bed. The Suns, scorching hot with 17 wins in a row. At this price, the ticket, to me, has some great value. And if you back the Suns, who look as good as the Golden State Warriors, kind of in a tier of their own in the NBA, certainly in the Western Conference, they can get past Golden State. I think they can make it to the NBA Finals, and I would favor them over anyone coming out of the East. So a 9-1 ticket would allow you a nice little vacation where you can work on your tan in the real sun after making some money off the Phoenix Suns winning this NBA title. So that's the word I'm going with, tan, T-A-N. I won't ask you to spell anything. All mine are like kindergarten words. That's the level.
Yeah, I was going to say plausible would be a little hard to, I don't know if I can write that on the spot without some autocorrect.
I think I got that one, but I don't even want to try. All right, next statement here. Moving away from the association to the NFL. The Indianapolis Colts, not quite as hot as the Suns, but they're playing some good football.
Yes.
Plus 120 to make the playoffs this season. What is your good word?
No.
No.
No as in no.
Spell
Not
that.
no as in New Orleans, because we were kind of talking about that with the producer earlier. She was a little confused by my word. So the reason I'm saying no with this is the Colts, as we know, they lost the first 3 games, and that really, really hurt them. They have a couple of tough games coming up. They're going to face the Patriots. They're also going to face the Cardinals. They need to go 4-1 down the stretch. Do I believe that Carson Wentz can absolutely do that? No, because the Colts have a tendency to lead by double digits and then lose. We saw this against the Bucs last week. So I don't have much faith in this team. This is not something I would want to even bet on. I mean, it's plus 20. I get it's at plus money. Would I be throwing futures money on it? Absolutely not. But again, I am an Eagles fan, so me and Carson Wentz kind of have a little bit of beef. So I'm definitely not betting on the Colts to make playoffs at plus 120.
I can't escape you guys. I kick Fortenbaugh out of here, and another
sandwich
Eagles
between
fan
us
comes
now.
in. What the hell is going on here? I can spell no. You see it there, N-O. My word, also very short, R-U-N. Run. Because unlike you, I actually like this bet for Indy. And the biggest reason why is it's more of a fade of the Tennessee Titans, who, and this is not their fault, they've been great this season, but They're a complete mess, and they have had some of the worst injury luck in the entire NFL this season. They were already a team that was built on superstars like Derrick Henry, like A.J. Brown, and like Julio Jones. All those guys are gone now. Who does Ryan Tannehill have to work with in this offense? A valiant effort against the New England Patriots last week. But they eventually got exposed as the weakest or the weaker team. And I think that's going to continue to happen throughout this season. Now, luckily, they have a pretty easy schedule, but I still think they're going to take some losses in games we don't think they're going to lose. And at plus 120, with the way Jonathan Taylor is running that football, I think the Colts can beat anyone, especially in the month of December where it's colder outside and you don't want to tackle a 225-pound bowling ball of knives like JT.
We'll
All right,
see,
finally,
Tyler.
we'll stay in the NFL. All right, if you're a Eagles fan, I'm sure you love beating up on the New England Patriots, as you did in the Super Bowl a few years back.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we did.
New England is 11-1 to win the Pro Football Championship. What is your good word for the Patriots to win a Super Bowl, Erin?
Revenge. I feel like Bill Belichick is just sitting in a lair knowing that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl last year with the Bucs and is doing anything he possibly can to figure it out. And I feel like he's actually done a great job at that. I feel like the Patriots, they're going to have to play the Bills twice, which will be really tough because obviously this Monday Night Football matchup is coming up, and then they're going to have to play them again in terms of getting into the top spot in that AFC East. But just in general, I feel like this is such a revenge season. It's something that I would bet on because I think that line is going to continue to come down, especially if they do beat them Monday Night Football. So for me, I think it's not a bad bet. I feel like Bill Belichick and revenge, it's kind of like a situation with Nick Saban going into this weekend. Like, he's one of those coaches that you know has a game plan that even if he doesn't have all the pieces, he can figure it out.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down about this being the best price you may get through the end of the regular season, because I think the Patriots are going to continue to play good football. I have another word, also starts with an R. I'm going to say rookie. And the reason I'm using the word rookie is despite Bill Belichick being there, the greatest head coach of all time, the immense respect I have for him in terms of maximizing whatever the pieces are he has to work with, he still has a rookie quarterback to try and use and win this NFL championship. And no rookie QB has ever won an NFL championship. I don't believe Mac Jones is going to be the first. I don't think he's dynamic enough in the postseason when the Patriots go up against teams that are just better on paper or have a dynamic offense and defense that they will be able to keep up on that side. Patriots are going to make the postseason. They're going to be a tough out, but eventually they will be out. So rookie's the word I use because no rookie QB has won a Super Bowl. All right, Erin, good start on the good word. Let's get to Thursday night's action in the NFL. Yes. We need to bring in our good friend Anita Marks, who is going to join us here, and we're going to have a lot of fun breaking down Dallas and New Orleans in New Orleans. But before we get to our picks for this game with the prop queen, you will quickly learn, Erin Dolan, that Miss Anita Marks is the prop queen around here. I'm nearly just the prop prince. Perhaps you can become the prop princess around here. We got to hear from our guy, Ed Werder, boots on the ground at the Superdome, to tell us what to expect in this matchup.
Well, if forced to choose between having a head coach on the sideline or the best players on the field, I expect nearly every team would choose the situation the Cowboys have tonight. While Mike McCarthy becomes the first head coach in the franchise's 62-year history to miss a regular season game, Dak Prescott will have his full complement of playmakers in the offensive huddle against the Saints. With Amari Cooper returning from a 2-game COVID absence and CeeDee Lamb overcoming a concussion that cost him a game and a half, Prescott has his top 3 receivers for the first time since week 1. And while the Cowboys lost their season opener that night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was one of 2 games this season where Prescott threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdown passes. I'm told Cooper will play a limited number of snaps because the illness caused him to miss 10 days of practices, so his conditioning level not what it was 2 weeks ago. The Cowboys have struggled in the running game but seem to have an advantage in the passing game tonight. The Saints have not been able to generate an inside rush, and they're again without sack leader Marcus Davenport. But Saints defensive coordinator Dennis Allen among the best in the league. And in 2 previous games between these teams, Prescott's led the Cowboys to just 13 and 10 points.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. Boots on the ground there in New Orleans. Kickoff about a little less than an hour away. The official numbers we're going with here on Bet, Cowboys laying 6.5, total of 46. It's been moving around throughout the day with that injury news. Mama didn't raise no fool, so ladies first. Anita Marks, we'll start with you. How you playing the side or total in this matchup?
Yeah, listen, I love that this line is going up for the Saints. I'm on the Saints side. I'm also going to use them as a 2-team, 6-point teaser. I'll tease them down. I'll line it with the Arizona Cardinals going up against the Chicago Bears this week as well. Everything Ed said plays into all the reasons why I like the Saints tonight. I'm thrilled that they're going back to Taysom Hill in 4 starts last year for Drew Brees. He went 3-1. Sean Payton, I think, is really going to put together a really exciting game plan for him. And as Ed said, the defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, has had his way with Dak Prescott. As he said, 2 games, only 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 8 sacks, guys. So they could get to Dak and only 23 total points. So for me, all the stars aligned properly where I think this is going to be a close game. And so with Taysom Hill starting, I like the Saints getting the points tonight.
Anita rocking her Taysom Hill Mr. Swiss Army shirt. So no surprise there that she is back in Taysom and the Saints in the Voodoo Dome. All right, Erin, how are you looking at side or total in this Thursday night matchup?
So I'm not betting on either of those things. And just quickly, I could never wear the picks that I'm about to wear because I am from Philadelphia and it would have definitely gone viral. And Anita actually called me this morning and she's like, look, I love the Saints. And I was like, Anita, my ESPN debut and I have to go against a team or actually kind of root for, since I give picks for it, a team that everyone from Philadelphia hates. So for me, I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys first half spread, -3.5, getting in, getting out. We talked about this. The spread kind of is all over the place. I don't feel comfortable betting it. I don't really trust some of the reports that are coming out of kind of that the Saints could potentially win because they couldn't. So I'm just going to stick with the first half spread, get in, get out. I think they'll be able to pick things up a little quicker than they did against the Raiders. Obviously, they didn't pick things up to that 4th quarter, forced an overtime, didn't win in that game. But they are getting some key pieces back as well on offense. You have CeeDee Lamb coming back. Amari Cooper will also be back, even if he does play limited snaps. I know that Ed Werder had said that he could potentially play on those 3rd down conversions, if anything. Other than that, I also like Dak Prescott's over passing yards, 284.5. He's averaging more than that on the season. He's doing 293. So for that, I have a Dak prop and then a Dallas prop. So
mark it down.
Tough one.
First day on the job at ESPN, December 2nd, 2021. Noted Eagles fan Erin Dolan has converted. She is now a Cowboys fan, backing the Cowboys in the first half. It's the video's there. Friends and family of Erin.
I know, it's probably going to come out by tonight.
Make sure you post it on all the interwebs. All right, I don't love this, but I'm on the opposite side of Anita here. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to play the under. I know most of us, Doug and Joe as well, on Daily Wager about an hour ago, we're touting the under, thinking that this is going to be a lower scoring game. I just look at it this way. Who's available for the Saints versus who is available for the Cowboys? Now, the Cowboys are missing coaches, and that's important, but players win games, not coaches. Dak, Amari, CeeDee, Michael Gallup, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin on that offensive line, Zeke and Tony Pollard on offense, all available. DeMarcus Lawrence also available on the defense to team up with Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. And why that matters is because on the New Orleans side, their offense will be without their starting right tackle, starting left guard, their best offensive player in Alvin Kamara. We haven't seen Michael Thomas all year long, and they're on their 3rd starting quarterback. Marcus Davenport on defense is not going to be available either. I know it's hard to win down there in New Orleans at the Voodoo Dome, but I just think this is a battle of attrition. And the team that has lost way more is the New Orleans Saints. So I will back the Cowboys, even though I'm going on record here saying I hate the Cowboys just as much as Erin does. Not as an NFC East fan, but Cowboys fans literally are just the worst humans in the world. So shout out all you Cowboy fans out there. All right, that's how we're looking at Thursday Night Football. Anita, hang tight. And Erin, hang tight as well, because this is the game we call Blind Bet. I'm just going to be the good old host of the show here. So I have 2 envelopes, 1 and 2. Erin, since you are the new kid on the block, we will allow you to have honors and pick. You get to pick either envelope number 1, I'm going to try and do this, or envelope number 2. You cannot pick my face. That is not an option here, even though I know it's lovely. But if you like number 1, you can keep it. If you do not like the bet that is contained in number 1 or number 2, whichever one, you can opt for the other envelope, but then you're stuck with that one. You can't go back. And Anita gets what is left over here. So, newbie, you're on the clock. Which one would you like, number 1 or number 2?
I'm going number 1.
Okay. Any reason why you're a fan of number 1? Is that like your lucky number or anything?
No, I don't have a lucky number. I feel like people are really into that. And I ran track and field, so I never had a number on my back.
Okay, well, this is what you got in number 1. Dallas scores in all 4 quarters at plus 160.
Ooh. See, I think the Dallas Cowboys might come out really hot. I think they might beat them by like 20 points and surprise everybody. I do like that at plus 160.
So you're going to keep
in every quarter.
You're
I'm going to keep it.
this.
I'm going to keep it.
Okay, she is
Might
going
as well,
to keep
since
it.
I took Dak over passing yards.
Official Erin is going to bet, nice play out too, at plus 160, that Dallas scores in all 4 quarters. Okay, now here's what Anita gets in number 2. Dallas over 4.5 punts at plus 140. So these kind of going opposite of one another, it would seem. If they're scoring in all 4 quarters, probably not a lot of punts. Anita, do you like what Erin left you with?
I do. Listen, Ed Werder told you. I've been saying it all night long. Are you guys not listening that Dennis Allen has Dak's number? So I don't see this, even though Amari Cooper is not. We heard from Ed he's going to be on some type of pitch count. Ezekiel Elliott has a knee issue. We're expecting him to be on a pitch count. I just don't see a lot of points being scored here. So, yes, I like the fact that Erin took number 1 and left number 2.
This worked out for us.
I like my bet
This isn't bad.
I like my bet a lot better. Yeah, I'm going over punts for the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, our producer Weimer has done her job. Both these ladies satisfied with the pick they have here. Next week, of course, Anita, you'll be picking first, but Erin made her choice. Anita, you got the punts. Good luck to both of you ladies. Maybe you both can cash, but that's how we play blind bet here on Bet. All right, Anita, hang tight. Erin, you are involved in this next segment, something that we have not won, and I'm just going to go ahead and blame Joe for the reason we haven't won this. Now that he's out of here, you and I are going to take us to paradise, young lady. It's called Parlay to Paradise. Here was last week's Paradise. Joe and I each splitting 1-1, but Dolan would have ruined it if either of us both of us, were 2 for 2. Dolan laying 18 with Florida State against BU. They did not cover that, so our $100 parlay trying to cash out $2,400 on a squadouche. So again, I'm blaming Joe for this because in the 2 years we've been doing this show, it has never cashed, so it is clearly Joe's fault.
Never?
We have never cashed.
Never.
Never. What better time than now to make some history here on Bet? We have a guest picker coming up in a little bit who's going to try and help us out here, Erin. But I'll let you, Lady in Red, kick us off. Your 2 plays for the Parlay to Paradise.
So I'm going to go with 2 dogs. I'm going to start off with Detroit plus 7. So more money keeps coming in on Minnesota, but that line has stayed pretty consistent all week. Now, we know this is a divisional matchup, so for me, it's enticing only because this could be a tighter game. And the Detroit Lions, in their last 3 games, they've only been outscored by 5 total points. So something to keep in mind. My second pick that I like, again, a dog. I like the Denver Broncos plus 9.5 against the Chiefs. The Chiefs win, absolutely, but they're not great at covering the spread ever. They're 1-5 against the spread also at home. They've been turning the ball over a lot. They ranked 31st in the NFL with 22 giveaways. So I'm going to take the Denver Broncos, especially with Teddy Bridgewater under center. They played much better last game. So those are my 2 picks, 2 dogs in the Parlay to Paradise. We need this to cash, too.
I would
really
love
got to get
that
this going. 2
because
years is too long.
I would like to be on a beach somewhere sipping a Mai Tai instead of, here in Vegas is all right, but how about somewhere tropical sipping a Mai Tai where we can do Bet the week after we win a Parlay to Paradise. All right, you like a couple dogs. I'm actually on a couple of favorites, one in college football, the other in the NFL. My college football favorite is the Big 12 title game. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with Oklahoma State against Baylor. You look at what Oklahoma State has done this season on the strength of a dominant defense, which we rarely say in the Big 12. They were 9-2-1 ATS this season. That was second best in all of FBS behind only Michigan. I repeat that, second best cover percentage in college football behind only the Michigan Wolverines. These 2 teams in the Big 12, of course, did play this year. Oklahoma State won and covered that game 24-14. They did so despite losing the turnover battle against Baylor. You lose the turnover battle and still win and cover. That shows me how much better your team is than the opposition. So with Oklahoma State having something to play for, they win this game. Going to need some help, but they win this game and they improve their stock at getting into the college football playoffs. So under 6, under 7 at 5.5, I like Oklahoma State against Baylor. The other in the NFL, it's a big number, but it's one of the teams I love picking on. I'm going to lay the 9.5, 10 now with Indianapolis against the Houston Texans. And this is basically just a Jonathan Taylor system play. Right now in the NFL, there is no one dominating his position quite like Jonathan Taylor. The guy has just been an absolute beast, and what a juicy matchup and game script he has as a double-digit favorite against a Houston Texans team that can't really score on offense and is eviscerated defensively. With his dominant offensive line, with Taylor now kind of taking all of the alpha carries, goal line work, 2-minute drill, pass game work in this offense from Nyheim Hines and Marlon Mack. It's the JT show for good reason. He's the best player on that team. I think they're going to cover this. It's a big number. I usually don't love laying that big of a number in the NFL, but I just can't see, unless there's an injury that happens on the Colts side in the middle of the game, the Houston Texans keeping this close as long as JT does what he has done for the past couple of months, which is score a touchdown, something he's done in 9 straight games, and go over 100 yards of total offense, something he had done in 8 straight games before falling 3 yards short against Tampa Bay. So she's on some dogs. I'm on some favorites. Those are our Parlay to Paradise picks. Our guest picker this week, none other than college football national champ Greg McElroy.
Hey, my parlay to paradise is Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship game. I'm taking the under. I don't care where you put it. Put it as low as 36. I might still lean towards the under. I think both these defenses are extremely good. Bama's defense far less celebrated than the Georgia defense that has been averaging, giving up around 7 points a game. I expect Georgia's defense to get to Bryce Young to make life very difficult for him. And I expect Alabama's defense to kind of contain that run game for the Georgia Bulldogs and lock up what are pretty talented wide receivers. I think Georgia ultimately wins the game, but I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring effort.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Here's our $100 5-leg parlay, trying to return $2,435 and change. Erin on some dogs in the NFL. I'm on a couple of favorites, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And Greg going to the SEC title game under 49.5 with Georgia and his Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, now, time to bring Anita Marks back with Erin and I. We're going to run a little 3-man weave. I guess it's actually 1 man, 2 women, 3-person weave we're going to run here on Bet in the NBA. Going to talk about 3 games in the association on this slate and get picks from each of us. We'll start with Anita Marks' first game, Thunder and Grizzlies we're looking at. This game has changed because there's been some injury issues on the Thunder side. SGA out, Josh Giddey out. So Grizzlies, even without Ja Morant, favored by 11, total of 210.5. Anita, what say you?
Just for the record, I always screwed up the weave at basketball practice, and I get yelled at by my coach. So just hopefully you guys won't yell at me, and I'll get this weave right. And that is, I'm going under here. Thunder, second game of a back-to-back. They're only shooting 50%, as you said. A lot of talented guys that are going to be out. Morant again on the Grizzlies side, and both these teams have a somewhat of a slow-paced, half-court style of offense. So I'm going under on the total in this game. That's my first play.
All right, Erin, what you got?
So I'm rocking with Anita here with the under 210.5. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I was hoping to have him for his points tonight, but unfortunately he is now out. That's going to take away a huge chunk of that scoring, considering he had 39 points against Houston last game. They're on a 7-game losing skid to Oklahoma City. So for me, I think just going with the under, it's not even really a game I'd want to watch tonight, but I think that's a safe bet just going with that under. I don't think they're going to be scoring a lot there.
Unpopular on League Pass. I can see that, especially with SGA, Giddey, and Morant all out. Probably the 3 most watchable stars in this game. And we're in lockstep here, ladies. I'm on the under, but I don't have 48 minutes to invest, only 24. Got to catch a flight. So first half under, 107 for these 2 teams. For the OKC squad, just 5 of their 21 games this season have gone over the first half total. So 16 out of 21 games involving this team have gone under in the first half. You remove the scoring of SGA on one side, you remove the scoring and pace of Ja on another side, and I like that trend to be predictive for this particular matchup between the Thunder and the Grizz in Memphis. Second game we're looking at, sandwiched between a win already against the Golden State Warriors and a Friday night matchup against the Golden State Warriors. The Phoenix Suns, without Devin Booker tonight, welcome the Detroit Pistons to the desert. Suns still favored by 12 without Devin Booker again. Total of 207.5. Anita, we started with you again. What you got?
Brace yourself. I'm going with the Detroit Pistons. Give me the points. Dare I say trap game as you just laid it out for us? And when you look at the losses that the Pistons have had, they haven't lost by more than 11 points. So, yeah, give me the 12, give me the 12 and a half. I was lucky. I got it at plus 13 a little bit earlier on in the day. So I'm rolling with the Pistons and the points here tonight, guys and gals.
Anita likes to live dangerously against a team that's won 17 in a row. But again, we'll be without Devin Booker and has a Friday matchup with the Golden State Warriors to look forward to. All right, Erin, what you got for this matchup?
So like you said, the Suns have won 17 straight, but they're sandwiched between playing the Warriors again. So some of their key players for the Suns might not play as much time because tomorrow is much more important. But I still do like DeAndre Ayton over 17 and a half points. He's averaging 17 at home, and considering that Devin Booker's out, I think he'll be able to hit over that number. But again, I think Anita makes a great point about this could be a trap game considering you get 12 points with the Pistons. I mean, the Pistons are terrible. We know this, are the worst defensive team in the league right now. But at the same time, what do they really have to fight for tonight in the Suns other than just getting that win? They don't play to cover, they play to win.
Yeah, I like Ayton going over 17 and a half as well. That's one of the props on my card. Without Devin Booker, I think he is going to soak up some of the 20, 25 points that Booker would usually score night in and night out. He had 24 against the Warriors on, I believe, a season-high 19 field goal attempts after Booker left that game with the hamstring injury. I'm going to attack the Pistons team total and play that under 97 and a half. The biggest reason why is that the Pistons quite literally have the worst offense in the NBA, 30th in offensive rating, and the Phoenix Suns have the second best defense in the NBA, second behind only the Golden State Warriors. Booker is a loss, but guys like Ayton in the low block, Chris Paul, who's still a very good team defensive player and a hound on the ball, Mikal Bridges, who deserves Defensive Player of the Year consideration, Jay Crowder. I just think even if they don't cover, the Suns still win this game by playing suffocating defense against a Pistons team that just isn't good offensively. Sure, you can get excited about Cade Cunningham and the promise he may have, maybe Sadiq Bey and Beef Stew. Isaiah Stewart can go off from time to time on the board, but I just have trouble seeing this team cracking 100 points against a Suns team that has been so dynamite defensively, even if it is a little bit of a letdown spot for that Phoenix Suns team getting ready for the Warriors tomorrow. So officially, I'm under Detroit 97 and a half. They can still cover, though. They can still cover going under 97 and a half if the Suns don't bring offense. All right, final game we're going to look at. Also out west, this one should be interesting. Spurs visiting the Trailblazers. No Damian Lillard. No Nasir Little either for the Portland Trailblazers. So obviously, Dame, a big loss. Little, a key piece of that rotation as well. Spurs come into town, catching 4.5. Total of 216 for this 10 Eastern tip. Anita, what you got?
I'm on the dog yet again, and my 4 dogs will be proud tonight that Mama took another dog. I'm going with the Spurs. Not only am I taking them plus 4.5, I'm going to play them on the money line. As you said, Lillard is out. Also, Little Powell is out as well, so they're missing some players. Meanwhile, the Spurs, they've won 2 straight, and I know it's been a slow start to the season, but I feel like they're finally coming around. Their defense is playing better, so I'm on the dog yet again. Give me the Spurs plus 4.5, and I'll take them on the money line as well.
All right, I know that was a best bet for Erin Dolan on her first ever daily wager, liking the Spurs. Is that what you're going to feed the people here?
Yes, so I'm not going to take that pick. I'm going to go with a player prop, Dejounte Murray, double-double. And I know you actually talked in Daily Wager about a triple-double at plus 400, which is absolutely insane. Love that. But for Dejounte Murray, he's averaging 19 points, 9 boards. He had a double-double in the last 2 games. The Spurs are turning a corner, played well against the Wizards, also played well against the Celtics. And considering he's one of their top scorers, I think he'll be able to get a double-double, especially against this Portland Trailblazers team that is depleted. So that's what I'm going to go with tonight.
Yeah, Murray has recorded a double-double in 6 of his last 7 games, quietly becoming an absolute all-star for the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference. I'll piggyback your best bet from Daily Wager, Erin, and what Anita is saying right here. I'm on the Spurs with the points as well, and I think Anita makes a good point about sprinkling some action on them on the money line. I believe Doug Kazarian took them as his dog of the day on Daily Wager. So everyone here liking the Spurs in this matchup. Again, with no Dame Lillard, with no Norm Powell and Nasir Little. Those other 2 pieces may not seem like they're as big as Dame, but they are. Powell's a guy who stretches the floor and plays defense. Little provides athleticism and defense off the bench. So with the Spurs starting to turn the corner and having Murray on the floor along with some other guys who are coming back in that rotation for Greg Popovich, I like the Spurs. That'll do it for this Thursday edition of Bets. Welcome to the squad, Erin, Dolan, Anita Marks, as always, absolutely crushing it. I am Tyler Fulghum. Hope everyone has a wonderful Thursday night and a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday morning. Joe will be back on Bet.